Am I the asshole? For telling a doctor to shut up on a turbulent flight? I was on a flight from Atlanta to LAX last night. Packed flight, everyone just trying to get some sleep. About 2 hours in, the lights come on and an announcement crackles through the intercom: turbulence ahead, fasten seatbelts. Pretty standard stuff. Then, all hell breaks loose. This woman, maybe late 40s, impeccably dressed, starts freaking out. Screaming about air pockets, demanding to speak to the pilot, the whole 9 yards. Flight attendant, super patient lady, bless her, tries to calm her down, explains it's standard procedure, turbulence is normal. Nope, not having it. This lady, who we'll name Jane, throws a fit. Not the screeching, nails on a chalkboard kind, but a cold, steely fury. She accuses the flight attendant of lying, of putting everyone in danger, and demands to be deplaned immediately. Flight attendant says that's not possible mid-flight, and Jane launches into this whole spiel about how she's a doctor, pulls out an ID to prove it, and if something happens, it's on the airline. Now, the rest of the plane is awake. People are grumbling, some looking scared, a baby starts crying. Flight attendant is trying to reason with Jane, but it's like talking to a brick wall. Finally, I just lose it. I yell out, probably a little too loudly, "Look lady, we all get turbulence. It's not a 5-star resort, but it's safe. Sit down and shut up before you get yourself arrested." Everyone stares at me. Jane spins around, eyes blazing, and starts in on me about disrespecting a medical professional. I fire back that a real doctor wouldn't be causing a scene and freaking everyone out. The flight attendant dives in, trying to mediate, but the damages hit some turbulence, not terrible, but enough to jostle the plane. Jane freaks again, and some people start getting panicky. I feel awful, maybe I made things worse. The flight attendant gives me a look that could curdle milk, but then steers Jamie away to talk to her. The time we land, things are calmer, but the tension is thick. Jane gives me a withering look as she disembarks, and a few people mutter thanks under their breath. So, am I the asshole? Did I just escalate a bad situation, or was I right to shut down a meltdown that was putting other passengers on edge? I'm honestly not sure. I see a lot of YTA, but I really think it's ESH, since we are all bringing up how Jane sucks too. The flight attendant is the only one who isn't an asshole here. Was I right to shut down a meltdown that was putting other passengers on edge? X200B. Right, but you didn't shut it down. In your own story it seems like you only made it worse. So, soft, you're the asshole for needlessly getting involved and adding more anger to an already chaotic situation. Definitely not a useful thing to do. Probably should have stayed out of it, but I don't blame you either. The funniest part for me is how she kept saying she's a doctor. Literally, who cares what she does for work? People are so full of themselves. Not the asshole. She was trying to yell fire in a crowded theater. This is the same kind of shit that people who like to yell at cashiers and wait staff use. They know the person who is paid to interact with them can't tell them off or really do much at all. At that point it is up to the rest of us that don't have skin in the game to step up and assist those who are being constrained by wanting to keep their job. Screw that doctor. I am fully on board with what you did. Not the asshole. You're right, as a doctor she is trained to handle high-stress situations and to keep people calm. Being trapped in a steel tube 30 miles in the air is not the place or time for a freakout. Not the asshole. I know some people think you are for sticking your nose in where it doesn't belong, and maybe I'm an asshole too because I would have said worse. Not the asshole. It's not your job to babysit a screamer. The fact that she thought her medical ID mattered means she waves that crap around a lot. Thank you for your service, sir. God, I hate working for doctors like them. Condescending pricks, and they treat their medics and nurses like shit because they went to a longer school. It would have been better to shut up and let the professionals deal with her, but it was going to be a shit show regardless. Being a doctor is no excuse for freaking everyone out. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Hard disagree with everyone telling you you're an asshole. Maybe more people should present a united front instead of getting out their phones to take videos of flight attendants or servers, or store clerks, etc. getting verbally abused. If a handful of people tell you to shut up, you will probably shut up. Too much sitting back and relying on some authority figure emo. Not the asshole, but this was obvious. She should be arrested for her behavior and at the least put on a temporary no-fly list. Not the asshole. You said what needed to be said and everyone claiming a highly trained flight attendant was handling the situation doesn't realize that the flight attendant has no options other than to let the passenger continue to panic and freak out everyone on the flight if she wants to. Talking her down like a petulant child obviously wasn't working. It's not like they can actually do anything to make her stop if she doesn't want to. I get that she's scared, but if that's the case, she is obviously not someone qualified to use air travel. If she's so scared, she should travel by car, bus, or train. Some people need to be told to sit down and shut up. This isn't even good fiction. Also, I am not so sure flight attendants are all that well trained for this. People freak out for all different reasons and respond in different ways. Flight attendants are not psychiatric professionals. Everyone is giving them way too much credit. Not the asshole. I feel for the flight attendant, but she didn't know if you would be here next. Problem. You tried to de-escalate, she responded by escalating it further. Not the asshole. Unpopular opinion, but not the asshole. Clearly the flight attendant didn't do a good job if Jane kept screaming the whole time. I would have yelled at her too. You're the asshole. Flight staff have specific protocol and procedure on how to handle these things for the safety of everyone. You causing a second disturbance just adds on more work. If this woman was very mentally ill, potential violence or other issues could have ensued, for example. Not the asshole. I like your style. Someone needed to take control, and sounds like this woman was trying to throw her title around and basically be an asshole. You're the asshole, you just made things worse. Flight attendants are trained to handle things like this. It's not the first time they'll be dealing with a passenger like this, and it most definitely won't be the last. Should have taken your own advice and sat back down with your mouth shut. I'm going with not the asshole. Some people need to be told to SDF you.